3, 2, 1.
What's up everyone, Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture. Is it safe to be bullish on Litecoin? Sometimes we feel like we're on the edge of a cliff. The slightest breeze right now at this area of 176 can just push us off the cliff into the murky, cold waters of the 120s and below, even 100, dare I say, into the 90s and the 80s. So can we be bullish? Can we have hope that Litecoin will find its way back up above the 200s? I think we can, and I think there are scenarios that we can look at. And for that, I want to look at the RSI. General terms, the general rule is on the RSI and the algorithm. And the RSI is basically like an oscillator. It's an indicator oscillator that shows the momentum and the strength of the trading of a particular currency. And within the algorithm of this oscillator is the general rule of if we're above the 70 line, which is the top of this purple, we are overbought. And if we're below the 30, which is down here at the bottom of this purple box, we are oversold. That's basically the general, the rule of thumb when it comes to the RSI. And this is the 14-day RSI. Now, with that being said, there are a couple other rules to look at. And I put these boxes so that I can kind of explain it to you. But another general rule of thumb is if you see this green box, this can be an illustration of what a bullish market looks like, where we trade within 40 to 80 or 90 at any given time, and we find the 40 as a line of support. It's typical of a bullish market. On the flip side, if we look at what the RSI oscillator looks like in a bearish market, which we see at Litecoin in 2014, we see this bearish market. The bearish market can be illustrated within this red box that I put on the screen, which is basically ranging from down 10 to the 50 to 60 area with resistance at 55. So in this market, in this bear market, we see that we are trading in this bearish box. And this is a general rule of thumb. And we do see hitting this resistance off of the 55 area until finally we have, a reversal in this trend. And let me try and pull the chart up here so you can see. But we have this reversal out of this bear market, and you see we enter a new channel in terms of the RSI. And we've been trading there for the most part. And you can see this green support line at 40 when looking at the RSI. So with that being said, I did a video on the EMA 250, and something we really want to keep our eyes on right now as we try and hold support at where we are. But the other thing to look at is really, and we can illustrate a possible scenario for continuing the uptrend in Litecoin, the possible bullish scenario, which is check out back in August or whatever, when we had this little uptrend, right? And we had this massive pullback. What were you doing? What was the market thinking when we went up? And let me get my price range. We went up 90% and then we went down 50%. What was the market thinking? I would like to say that it was probably thinking what it's thinking now. We're about to tank. We're about to enter that bear market that we saw a couple years ago. But look what happened. We bounced off of this 40 support at this bottom here. We broke through the 50, right? The 50 EMA, the moving average. We broke through it, but we tested this 40 support. We didn't even touch the 200 EMA, and we bounced back up. We consolidated a little bit, and then we traded kind of sideways for a little bit, and then which led us to where we are now, which was obviously the December we had. And now we kind of pulled one of these again that we pulled back in August, which was a really, really beautiful looking uptrend, right? A breakout, which we all enjoyed. And then we had this pullback that we had back here. We have a similar pullback, right? Happening right now, little slower. And we're just like, oh no, is this the end of the uptrend? Is it time to enter a bear market? And, you know, there's a good reason to have that caution, and, you know, you want to prepare for that happening. However, let's just keep an eye on the RSI. We're at this 40 support. We're not here yet. Okay, we're not trading in this new channel. We have to give it time to consolidate, and, you know, I think it's just another cool indicator to look at, along with the EMA, which I talked about in the other video. And if you haven't watched that video, I would say go check it out, because when you have all these things running and these indicators, at the end of the day, I know, you know, indicators can't predict or show you what's going to happen, but it's nice to follow. It's kind of like an extra tool to have in your bag when you're investing and when you're trying to anticipate what's going to happen next. But from a bullish angle, right, it's nice to see that we have not broken this 40 level, this 40 line on the RSI. And it's also nice to see this similar pattern back in August. It's nice to see the similar pattern back in, what was this? Well, I mean, we have one here, March, and then May. So these things happen, right? So I think it's cool to just keep an eye on this. Let's watch it consolidate, and let's watch if it can get back above the 50 EMA for support, consolidate, and prepare us for that next launch that we have in the bullish market that we hope that we can stay in. We hope we can stay in this range and not fall into something like this. So let's keep an eye on it. Appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'm kind of curious of your thoughts in terms of the RSI. If you agree, disagree, let me know. Thank you for coming by. I will see you on the next video, and God bless.